Okay, welcome to AV Growth Podcast. My name is Toni Vippola and I'm here with Alex Pitsko.
Hi, nice
Ah,
to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, we are talking about transmedia, Web3, NFTs today in this podcast. And listening you to talk today, I think you are the best professional to talk about this thing
Okay.
in here. So it's really nice to have you here. Can you tell shortly about yourself?
So, yes, I'm Alex and I'm the founder of Zenfrogs. Zenfrogs is an animated franchise. So, we to explain briefly to people what type of series it is, it's, we say Rick and Morty uh, mixed with Midnight Gospel, with frogs, loads of frogs. So it's a story about a human girl who gets lost during interdimensional travel, and she ends up in the world of Zenfrogs. And a Zenfrog called Ren, who's a humanoid frog creature, he takes her under his wing, and each episode he's trying to get her back to her actual universe, her planet, and they visit different versions of Earth that she's supposed to live on in every episode, and there's a lot of ethical questions, a lot of existential questions that are touched, and it's a story about growth, a story about betrayal, and it's something that would punch the watcher in the stomach at the end of the first season. Make people say why would you do that? But this is on the creative side. On the Web3 side, we are creating a platform for fan engagement, so our fans can not only watch the series but also participate in a more interactive way in the creation of the story.
Okay, thank you. Brilliant. Sounds interesting. I love the story behind the Chen Frog.
Thank you.
Okay, for those AV companies who don't know what Web3 is or NFTs, can you shortly describe what they mean?
Yes, I mean Web3 is just a new generation of internet. As most people may not realize they're already using Web3, but if we were to say Web 1, Web 2, Web 3, Web 1 was the version of the internet where people just visited websites, and that's all they did. They visited websites and they read information. Web 2 is social media, Instagram, Facebook. People are now interacting, chatting with each other, having a more meaningful relationship with the internet. And Web 3 internet is Web 2 plus the aspect of decentralization. So this digital currency, people have heard of Bitcoin, that is not a separate part from the internet. It exists, but it's Web 3 because it's not really part of the everyday user's internet life. So it's that, and NFTs are basically, most people associate NFTs with pictures of monkeys or whatever.
Yeah.
But and that is a common use for NFTs, but actually the technology is just a certificate of proof of ownership. So you have a certificate that's recorded on this blockchain, this database that's verifiable, is transparent, public. You can see the certificate, and whatever is attached to the certificate, whether it's an image, a film script, a car, a house, that's another story.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, you talk about blockchain. So shortly, blockchain means.
Yeah, blockchain means it's basically a decentralized database. Most databases are centralized in terms of they're stored somewhere on Amazon servers, and Amazon technically has control of your information should they want to open that up. In a decentralized, in the blockchain, inherently blockchain should be decentralized. Public blockchain isn't decentralized. The information is stored across many servers across the world. That's why it's decentralized. And there's why it's called block, because of the way the technology works. It kind of stores it in blocks.
Okay.
It's just a technical aspect of it. It makes it a little bit more secure, very difficult to fake information, almost impossible. Like you would have to have all the money in the world, and then that will still no guarantee that you'll be able to modify that information there. But on a centralized database, if you have the password, that's it. You're in.
Okay. So you have been talking with AV companies today
Yep.
in your workshop. Can you give any ideas how to expand AV project to Web3? If you can say it short, like, I don't know,
Yes, there's a lot of opportunities. Well, I was talking mostly about opportunities in marketing and community building and fundraising. So, in terms of the community building and fundraising, two very closely tied things in the Web3 space. So, if you have a creative project, let's say a film, um, and you need a fan base, maybe you don't want to sell your license to a streamer or to some distributor and give away your IP for the next 5 years. This way, basically, the distributor has access to the fans, to your fan base. They have basically all the control, merchandising rights, etc., depending on what contract you signed. Um, Maybe you don't want to do that. In Web3, what it allows you is to fundraise and build the community at the same time. It's usually it happens via NFTs. So let's say your film about cats, you create a collection of NFTs with cats, and usually what happens is the creator of these NFTs they provide some kind of utility to go along with this. For example, access to the production meetings or snippets of the draft script or something unique that a regular person who doesn't own this NFT would not have access to. And this way, the person sees extra value in this. Maybe you're also offering something in the future after the film production is done. Maybe exclusive merch drops that's only available to NFT holders. And that's where the value is created. That's how you can fundraise and build the community at the same time.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Talking about 10 frogs, today in your workshop, you said that you were teasing the audience
Yep.
like many times, and I was wondering how long can you tease your audience? Like, can you tell that? Like, is it 1 month, half a year, 1 year? Is there a limit for that?
So attention retention is a challenging thing. You don't really know, but in the beginning you have to. If you know that you're not going to launch your project, whatever it is, NFT sale, right? If you're not going to launch it in the next year, but maybe in 12 months you launch it. You don't want to tease too often and too much. You kind of just talk about it. That's the extreme whisper phase of the marketing. Yeah. So you talk to people. Oh, we're doing this. I can't tell you much about it yet. You don't go full on into marketing at this stage. And then the closer you get to the launch date of your NFT sale or whatever, you tease more. You tease more substantial things. Uncover more information about what you're doing, but not too much. And then that kind of increases the teasing frequency, the teasing volume, in terms of the amount of the revealed information increases. I would say a month is the maximum, not the maximum, but probably the optimal time frame for the teasing, like the real intense teasing. Yeah, and then the last 2 weeks is the most intense.
Okay, thank you. So we are talking about 1 month.
1 month, yeah, but you need to build up to that 1 month as well.
Yeah.
You need to build up, so you need to already be talking to people months before.
Brilliant. You also talk about AI today because nowadays AI is here already and we need to talk about it. What do you think, how AI tools are affecting transmedia, AV production or NFTs? How do you see that?
Oh, that's a really good question. Well, a lot of people can now create really great stuff that's to a degree for an average person indistinguishable from handmade stuff.
Yeah.
And in this way, that kind of devalues real artists or real creators that have worked and put their blood and sweat into the work. But this is where you have the opportunity to create even more value if you're a real creator, because you can show the behind the scenes work. You can show the progress. You can show the process, which the other guys can't. Or they have to put in a lot of work to fake the progress. It can still be faked with AI, but that would be challenging. It will be extremely challenging. But on the other hand, right, AI allows us to make things quicker, faster, plan campaigns, create stuff. It creates a lot of out of reach. It makes a lot of out of reach things very accessible to an average person with little skills. People are coding, people are creating platforms that I can only dream of creating. I would have to go and learn in the school, and then now vibe coding it. Just do this for me, and it's doing a very good job. And I know people who know nothing about coding, who have created really great stuff. So, and this is good. For example, you're a creator, you're a great creator, you're an illustrator, right? But you don't know how to create a game, but you really want to create a game, but you don't have money. You haven't found the funds yet. How do you finance that? The NFT thing is difficult now. You need to engage your audience more. I'm going to create a game using vibe coding, using my illustrations. I don't need to hire a developer. A simple game, of course, not a AAA. But so there's so many aspects and angles that you could look at how the use of AI is affecting the transmedia. It's interesting.
Talking about vibe coding, what do you think is the same thing coming to the AV projects? Like you can create your own cartoon and watch it later in the evening, like with AI. Do you see that happening, or is that the thing that is coming? What do you think?
So 3D, AI is really good at generating 3D animation. I think it's insanely good. Stuff that I would see like Pixar would do. AI is like I'm shocked. With 2D animation, it struggles because it's not generic. 3D animation is kind of generic. There's depth.
Yeah.
It understands. The AI understands how to do it. With 2D animation, because of the lack of depth, it's still struggling, but it's getting there. Because I've used some of that in our project to animate backgrounds or also certain aspects in the scenes, and it's doing a really good job. And it's really frustrating how good it is. So, but when it gets to character animation and kind of translating or creating and understanding the nuances of character movement, I don't know how soon that will come, because in 2D animation, I feel a lot of artists create kind of very unique moving characters, unique behavior. With 3D, it's slightly different. They tend to be slightly more generic in the way they behave. I don't know, but it's getting there. It's getting there.
Yeah, let's see. I know that game industry is looking that way, or some of the game companies like Roblox.
Mm-hmm.
You can create your own game, just prompting, and then you can play it.
100%.
So maybe it's coming to the AV projects too. I want to pick up one thing. You talk about scavenger hunt in your lecture or workshop today, and it sounded interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So talking about that, what it is, and can it be a tool for AV company to do NFTs, expand the project to transmedia?
Oh, I mean, yeah, definitely. So the scavenger hunt, I asked the participants to think about objects, let's say draft scripts, storyboards, 3D models that were not used, whatever it is, concept art, to find pieces of these artifacts within their projects that are not used, they're just lying around, they would otherwise do nothing, and see maybe we can utilize them to turn them into NFTs and to then sell to our potential fans that perhaps would be very, very interested in owning that piece. It's like we imagine Star Wars, a hardcore Star Wars fan would die for whatever from the set of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Anything, concept art, crazy, I would love to. Same with any other producer. If they have a fan base, a fan will buy something cool, something they would want to own a piece of. So this was the purpose of our scavenger hunt, and then we explored what we can actually do with them and how we can make them interactive, maybe, etc.
Brilliant. So that's one tool for the AV companies. You have talked about on-chain provenance, like history of digital things.
Yeah.
Can you tell shortly about that? What it means and why it is important?
Well, yeah, blockchain just we have to remember that what makes Mona Lisa, apart from it being very, very old and painted by one of the most famous artists in the history of the world, but what makes it valuable is that people have a consensus that this is the original Mona Lisa, and there's a certificate to come with it, paperwork to come with it. If that paperwork doesn't exist, then I would be very skeptical that that Mona Lisa is real Mona Lisa. So same with blockchain, right? With NFTs, an NFT is this certificate of authenticity, and you have an image, let's say an image of a monkey. That image comes with that certificate of provenance. You can see who owned it before you, how many wallets, how many times it was sold, how many wallets it jumped across. And you can utilize this technology in many other things. It could be music, it could be video. If you want to put short clips, sell short clips from cut footage from your movie or an animation, and you can sell it to your fans as well, and fans can sell it on. Yeah, it's great. Of course, you can download that movie clip, right? But there's only one owner, proven by the blockchain. Right, you don't need to record it on a tape, and then that's too complicated. I don't know where I'm going with this, but the point is, there's a lot of digital stuff. I understand that people see physical stuff that you can touch as something more valuable, but then is a digital photo more valuable when it's printed? Even though originally it's digital, it didn't go straight to film. So we discussed this. We kind of discussed this and what the purpose of blockchain is and how the NFT technology works.
Okay, thank you. It makes sense. Last question. Do you have any tips for AV companies to get growth, especially when we are talking about transmedia, Web3, NFTs, new technology like?
Yeah. Well, I think in terms of Web3, the priority is always, for me, the way I see it for AV companies, because it's an exciting how do you say? It's an exciting industry. There's a lot of fun, interactive. There's images. There's moving images. There's games. This is fun stuff, and NFTs are fun stuff. So for any other industry, I would say it would be not the right move to go and try and get an NFT collection going. But for the AV industry, targeting the Web3 crowd that's already used to this fun, exciting side of things, it's a very good way of creating your fan base, your first community, a community that believes in your project. Of course, there's a lot of there's a huge speculative aspect of this.
Yeah.
People are expecting to make money from buying your NFT. But so it's a great way to form the community and fundraise for your project. And then the community stays if your project is great. If your project doesn't meet the expectations, they don't stay, they move on. This is the tip. Explore it, test the technology, see what you can do. For example, I gave one example of evolving NFTs. So let's say some character has gone through many stages of evolution. First, it was just a word, character name Bob. That's the first. It's just a scribble on a piece of paper, Bob. The next stage of that was the first draft of Bob. Like someone drew a stick man that looks like Bob. Then it was slightly more detailed concept art. And with each evolution, with each stage, Bob gets more detailed, and you have the final version of Bob, drawn version. Now, we could link that to the production process of the episode or the film that you're doing. And the person buying the NFT, they know that with each production stage of the film, when it's hit, their NFT will evolve. They will turn into the next version of Bob. They don't know what Bob looks like in the end, but it goes from a word to a draft to a more detailed draft. And eventually, when the movie is complete, you have a full final form of Bob, and you're really excited. These are the kind of things, because at the end of the day, Web3 NFTs is just code. You can play with it as much as you want, make it as interactive as you want, and be very, very creative. And I think that's the best thing for creative people. Yes, these are my tips. Explore it, play with it, and see what you can do.
Yeah, I know, and I think they are good tips.
Thank you.
They are good tips for the AV companies. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you very
for
much.
having you here in the podcast.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks.
Right. Thank you.